Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey.
Hello.
Not with us tonight, still on vacation, is the Lord of Puppies, SDA. I am your host, Scribe, the Lord of Punishment. And joining us shortly will be the Lord of Pink Bows in her hair, Lady Monkey. But it'll be a minute or two before she gets things square there. So, hello, chat. Hope you're doing well tonight. Monkey, how are you?
I am as wonderful as I get. How are you?
Well, that sounded underwhelming. I'm doing well. Wasn't nearly as productive today on the video front as I had hoped to be because I've got I'll talk about it at YouTube time, but I've got 6 things that I'm looking at maybe working on. So we'll get there. Otherwise, let's see. I was going to say something else, but now I've completely forgotten what it was. That's just how I am now.
You're turning into me. That's not a good sign.
Oh God, I need to drink some more Dr. Pepper. That is a unsponsored endorsement for Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper is not a sponsor of this stream. It would be interesting if they were, though.
That would be.
Would you take a sponsor? I would hope they pull out. I don't want to get pregnant. Would you take a sponsorship from a product that you used so long as it wasn't something that was entwined with your content?
Yeah, absolutely.
What I mean is there was that whole Candid thing a while back with Shoe on Head and Bearing and other people who signed on for that Candid app, and it was all about free speech and talking to people and everything else. I don't think I'd take a sponsorship from a product that was directly involved in. I wouldn't want to risk sort of the appearance of impropriety, I guess, is the issue.
I'm a whore. And I will take their money if they want to give it to me. In the Candid situation, the problem there was people were not upfront as upfront as they should have been. And I don't have a problem with the Candid app itself. I think they kind of lied to people about what it was. And the people who took their money should have corrected that as soon as they found out.
Yeah.
But taking money from them in general, I have no problem with.
Sure. No,
as long as it's something you use and believe in, sure.
Yeah, as long as you're not just shilling to shill. Thank you, Terry Diamantis. I'll just assume you had a couple of suitably amusing puns in the stream titles while I was away. I try my best. Hey, it's a Lady Monkey. Hello, Lady Monkey.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, baby.
Lady Monkey, what would you like to be the Lord of? We've got this thing with it's got to start with the letter P thing going on, but it doesn't have to be. I said Lord of Pink Bows, but I don't know if that's quite your speed.
So it has to be a P?
Well, that's kind of what happened because Monkey's the Lord of Pain, and then SDA was Lord of Puppies, and it was just sort of not planned or anything. No pun intended. I did it again. But then I became the Lord of Punishment. So if you want to join the cool kids, we have to come up with a P word that you're the Lord of. Okay,
so now I'll have to think on that. And see what I can come
you don't
up
have to. It doesn't have to be a P, but I like alliteration. What can I tell you?
I have a P word she's the Lord of, but I don't think the rest of you need to hear it.
Oh dear hell.
Oh no. So how are you, Lady Monkey?
I am pretty good. How are you?
Trying to keep warm. It's not as cold here as it is there, I understand, but it's still a little chilly, so I have to keep the heater going on a bit here or there.
Okay, by chilly, do you mean above 40?
Today it did get. Today was the first day it got above 40 that it wasn't down in freezing temperatures for the last week.
Okay.
So it's not. Yeah, I know. I'm not suffering the way I was 3 days ago, but this apartment has absolutely no insulation or heating ability except for the space heater, so it gets icebox pretty quick at night.
Oh,
But
gotcha.
my temperature woes aside, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, hit that like button if you haven't already, and please share our stuff all over the place with your friends, family, neighbors, some bum you saw in an alley, whatever.
They're our best audience.
Yeah, they really are. Yeah, the downtrodden and the wretched. Oh, they are our favorite fans. Yes.
I have something before we get to actual news, because there's not a story on this that I saw, but it made me laugh. Did you see the guy on Twitter who went to the Hall of Presidents and yelled at the Trump animatron?
No. What did he say?
He started chanting when the Trump animatron comes up, lock him up. Now, I'm going to put the link for this guy's. He's very proud of it. He actually has it pinned at the top of his Twitter. You guys can go watch it. I am not making this shit up. Yeah, and he says that he did that because he probably never get that. And when I say him, this is obviously a trans person, but they're not even trying to actually look female. Their profile pic is them holding up a giant dildo.
Jesus.
Yeah, and this is the person who hates Trump so much, went to Disneyland and yelled at the animatron of Trump.
SDA's in the chat. SDA, I'll only notice you if you say notice me, senpai.
You just noticed her.
Yes, I know. Never mind. So SDA, so far as I know, will be joining us again tomorrow night. She should be back. That's my understanding.
Yay!
We'll probably do it on. Schedule's changed up a little bit because of the holidays. So I think if she's back tomorrow, we'll be on her channel for the stream, and then back on Monkeys for Saturday, and then Sunday from 11 p.m. to midnight on Eastern time. Monkey and I will be on my channel, just kind of shooting the breeze, counting down the end of the year. Probably doing like as many top 10 lists or memories of the year. Oh, she's not back tomorrow. Oh, okay. Well, then we'll be on Monkey's channel tomorrow. And then maybe we'll be on Monkey's channel for Sunday if we want to go back and forth. Anyway, we'll figure it out. Anyway, all that aside, let's get into some schnuzz. So the title of the stream is Vanity Fair Weather Friends, and that's because there was this thing that happened, I guess. I think I've seen the video, but it's become a thing. Hillary Clinton supporters are outraged at Vanity Fair to Trump's glee. President Trump renewed his long-standing feud with Vanity Fair on Thursday, mocking the magazine for apologizing over a video that poked fun at Hillary Clinton. Did you get all that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you seen this video?
I didn't know.
I watched it, and it was kind of funny. They're making fun of Hillary Clinton's book about what happened and all that fun stuff. And then, of course, a whole bunch of people that are sensitive about Hillary Clinton's feelings being hurt came to her defense. Quote, Vanity Fair, which looks like it is on its last legs, is bending over backwards and apologizing for the minor hit they took at Crooked H, Trump said on Twitter, invoking the derisive moniker he's given Clinton. Anna Wintour, who is all set to be ambassador to Court of St. James and a big fundraiser for Clinton, is beside herself in grief and begging for forgiveness, unquote. With the tweet, which was sent while he was at Trump International Golf Club in Palm Beach County, Florida, the president waded into a controversy that existed largely online and might well have been flickering out. It began earlier this week when a number of Clinton supporters and advisors reacted furiously to a video posted by Vanity Fair before Christmas. The video, which featured a handful of Vanity Fair staffers offering cheeky New Year's resolutions for Clinton, didn't get much attention when it was first published on December 23rd. But 3 days later, kind of like how Jesus came back to life. But 3 days later, after the holiday had passed, one line in the video became the focus of intense criticism. Quote, take up a new hobby in the new year, technology writer Maya Kossoff said in the video. Volunteer work, knitting, improv comedy, literally anything that will keep you from running again, unquote. Steadfast Clinton supporters like Peter Dow expressed their outrage over the joke, decrying the reference to knitting as sexist. A hashtag cancel Vanity Fair spread on Twitter. Adam Parkhomenko, a former Clinton advisor, went so far as to tweet out a photo of the magazine engulfed in flames. Holy cats. People are overreacting, I think. And then, of course, Trump took on, dogpiled on it. I'm only bringing this up because this was CNN's headline. This is CNN's notion of, like, this is the big important news that they have to tell us.
I'm curious. isn't saying that the knitting thing is sexist, kind of sexist itself?
That is some interesting logic there, Monkey.
Well, it's saying it's just for women's.
That's true. That's true. This is the morass you find yourself in when you start, categorizing everything as offensive.
Indeed.
Let's see what else. And then they go on. Yeah, that is the story. I mean, that's it. It's a big internet outrage, but CNN wants us all to know about an internet outrage that about some tiny percentage of the population actually gives a shit about. But it's their top story. I just wanted to point that out.
This is in a world where somebody goes to Disneyland to bitch at the animatron of Trump. I just want to point that out.
Oh my God.
You say that like it's not a normal thing for people to do.
Oh my God, that's fucking... This dude filmed himself doing it and put it up proudly.
Is there a way to deface that thing? Because I imagine if somebody can, they will try.
God. Have you seen it?
I've seen some clips of video of it. It looks awful.
It looks like Hillary.
I hadn't thought of it that way, but I heard it look more like John Voight than it looked like Donald Trump.
It looks like Hillary and Trump had a baby.
Ugh.
I have to interrupt for a moment. So we have some Lord names to toss around. We might have to do a Twitter poll. So we have to play off of the Lord of Pain, we have Lord of Pleasure.
Oh,
I like that one. That works for me.
Is it trashy though? I don't know. Trashiness is my only concern. But then we also have two others that I really liked. Lord of Pinching or Pinches.
Yes. Yeah, I like that one.
Oh, nope. Then you're going to really like the next one. Lord of Purple Nurples.
Oh.
Can we get back to pleasure being trashy?
Yeah.
Well, not that pleasure is trashy, but it sounds hookerish.
I'm leaning towards Pinches or Pinching.
I like Pinches, yeah.
Yeah,
Lord of Pinches.
Yeah, that sounds that's a bit more poetic. Lord of Pain, Lord of Pinches, because then like one is the cause of the other kind of thing.
Okay.
I don't know. That's just me. That's not necessarily the final say or nothing, but that's my opinion.
We'll have to do a Twitter poll. I'm going to have to create it after the stream, though, because if I do too much with my phone during the stream, it just hangs up on me.
Okay. Well, so we'll make a note. There'll be a Twitter poll after the stream, guys, on Lady Monkey's Twitter to find out what Lord shall she be, at least as far as our audience is concerned.
Now I want to run a poll to see if pleasure sounds trashy.
I know you want to run a poll, but Lady Monkey's talking to us right now.
Not just pleasure, but saying Lord of Pleasure.
Yes,
makes it
Lord of Pleasure. that sounds like some demon from hell. I am the Lord of Pleasure. Let's see, what else do we have? So there wasn't a whole lot of big news today. There was some breaking news just before the stream started, where there was a apartment fire in the Bronx, or Brooklyn. Is it the Bronx or Brooklyn? I'm sorry, where they confirmed at least 6 people have died or something. And that's it was like a one-line breaking story. I don't know if there's anything new to that right now, but
wait. Before you get to that, Weibo wants to know what's adamant repercussions for being stood up. Did you get stood up?
Wait, who stood you? Did Dick Grayson stand you up? What? Are you saying you're free now to come on the stream? Because before you weren't.
She got stood up.
If you got stood up, I won't leave you hanging, Weibo. I'm right here for you.
I just want to know who did it. I want to send them a gift.
I'm hoping it's her boyfriend in the sense that, yes, not that it's a good thing that he did that, but that there's not something else going on. No, not forever. Oh, okay. So it's just a temporary thing.
That's not being stood up. That's just that's late.
Yeah, that's delayed.
Women, and what was with your hickey, girl?
Wait, you got a hickey?
She asked on Twitter today how you get rid of a hickey quick.
She didn't say she had one. Did she?
Come on.
No, how do you get rid of a hickey? Well, you have the person who gave you the hickey put hickeys over the rest of your body, and then it evens out.
Yeah.
Netarumi says, Scribe Light looking for an opening. Well, it depends on how pretty she is. Okay, moving on. So we did have a terrorist attack today. Not in our neck of the woods per se, but all the same, which barely anybody talked about, but I saw or heard on the radio this morning. Islamic State kills 41 in attack on Afghan Cultural Center. Kabul, Afghanistan. An Islamic State suicide bomber struck a Shiite cultural center in Kabul on Thursday, killing at least 41 people and underscoring the extremist group's growing reach in Afghanistan, even as its self-styled caliphate in Iraq and Syria has been dismantled. The attack may have targeted the pro-Iran Afghan Voice news agency housed in the two-story building. The Sunni extremists of ISIS view Shiite Muslims as apostates and have repeatedly attacked Afghanistan's Shiite minority and targets linked to neighboring Iran. The attack wounded more than 80 people, many of whom suffered severe burns. There's a whole lot of extra details on this and the background of it, but I just want to bring it up. It's like, even if it's not happening in our neck of the woods, it's still going on all over the place. And it's really curious to me because there's a push from certain segments of the Shiite population to unify the sects in Islam. And I know this isn't necessarily a new idea, but I see this a lot being pushed on, like Islamic Pulse has done a whole ton of videos sort of pushing this idea that, you know, we all need to put our differences aside and come together all as Muslims rather than as different types. I don't think that's going to happen.
That doesn't work with Islam.
Yeah, when your word is the one true word and anyone who defies it is immediately an apostate, even if they call themselves Muslim. It's really, that's sort of the downfall of having a infallible word of God in your book kind of thing. Let's see. What's everybody talking about in the chat?
They're still asking about Weibo and her missing man. I'm sure he'll be there soon.
Yeah, they're more interested in Weibo's love life than they are about what she. I see how it is, guys. I see.
Well, it's concern for her boyfriend's well-being.
Well, yeah. I mean, is he not in touch, or is he just like he just called late? I mean, okay. Well, okay. Fingers crossed. It's not something like serious that he's just running late or something.
Now,
if he's like Monkey, he fell asleep somewhere.
As a man who's been late before, here's how you handle it as a woman. First, you hug him, and then you start hitting him and yelling at him.
Fuck that. Start the yelling and screaming first, hit a few times, then hug.
Let's see. We live vicariously through others, Scribe Light, says the Jack Cochran. Yes, indeed. Indeed, don't we all? Oh, someday I will be on the moon. Neil Armstrong, you bastard. Moon Poon. Let's see, what else do we have? Like I said, not a whole lot happened today. I've got a story, though, about the Oregon wedding cake bakers.
Oh, what's up with them?
Now, this isn't, as far as I know, this isn't the baker that's going to the Supreme Court right now. This is a separate case. Mm-hmm. But so what happens was a court rules against Oregon bakers in wedding cake case. An appellate court Thursday upheld a penalty against Oregon bakery owners who refused to make a cake, for a same-sex wedding almost 5 years ago. The owners of the since-closed Gresham Bakery, Aaron and Melissa Klein, argued that State Labor Commissioner Brad Avakian violated state and federal laws by forcing them to pay. I'm having a problem. Forcing them to pay emotional distress damages of $135,000 to the lesbian couple.
Fuck that. Lesbians don't have any emotions.
Emotional distress damages. Okay. Their lawyers said Akavian and the State Bureau of Labor and Industries violated the client's rights as artists to free speech, their rights to religious freedom, and their rights as defendants to a due process. But the Oregon Court of Appeals sided with the state Thursday, saying the clients failed to show the state targeted them for their religious beliefs.
What?
Failed to show the state targeted them for their religious beliefs. The judges also found public statements made by Akavian before deciding the case did not establish a lack of impartiality. Quote, today's ruling sends a strong signal that Oregon remains open to all unless you disagree with someone coming to your store and you decide not to serve them because of your religious beliefs. I'm still, and I'm still kind of torn on the religious belief argument when you're talking about a publicly facing business.
We have an update real quick. Weibo's man had to work late and didn't tell her.
Oh, what's the adequate punishment for lack of communication? Well, I would suggest a ball gag, and spankings. Sorry.
Here's what you do. This is how you teach him a lesson. You give him the best blowjob of his life. That's it. That is it. That's how you take care of that situation.
So Weibo, did you want the link to the stream, or are you just sort of delayed? I'm still kind of gray area on what's going on here, because I'll have you on if you've got nothing else going on. Let's see. Anyway,
you were saying you're torn on the religious part of it.
Well, it's one of those things where, like, religion can so easily be invoked as a reason to do things to people that don't make any sense in a sort of polite society way. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I also think about, the signs I used to see at businesses all the time, and I still do, that say, we reserve the right to refuse service to anyone. Is that something that a store owner could they do it in the first place? And, is it actually a violation of civil rights to refuse service to someone on the basis of your religious beliefs, even if that does intersect, I hate to use the phrase, with somebody else's lifestyle? I'm trying to think if there's an analogous situation that doesn't have to do with religion that is acceptable in such a case.
Well, how about this? In this case, this is not just baking a cake. This is a specific kind of cake, and there's an artistry to it. If there wasn't, everybody could do it, and the only reason to go to a bakery would be to save time. Mm-hmm. At what point is an artist forced to use their talent for somebody else's belief?
Well, and do we know that they said, I'm not going to bake you a cake because you're gay? Like, that's what was said.
Well, their defense is that doing so would have been a violation of their religious beliefs, essentially, because they say that their lawyers said that the state violated their rights as artists to free speech, their rights to religious freedom, and their rights as defendants to a due process. So part of their argument is that their religious convictions prevented them from endorsing effectively through their work a religious ceremony that they did not feel aligned with their personal religious beliefs. Thank you, James Colley, or Colley, or Coley.
Colley.
For Weibo, start off giving oral right before the finish, stop and go home. Yep. Burn. It's like, oh yeah, because you see, and here's the symbolism. You want to know what anticipation is without a payoff? Here you go.
What you really should do, Weibo, since he didn't communicate with you, you should come on here and just ignore him until we're done.
Yes.
How do we know that the poor guy had an opportunity to call? He was working.
She's siding against you, Weibo.
Well, he better be more, that extra work time that he's doing better be to earn money to spend on Weibo.
There you go.
I mean, at least, if that's the manly thing to do. The toxic manly thing to do, of course. Anyway, cases like this, I kind of see both sides in a way. I mean, if they out and out said, I'm going to refuse to serve you because you're gay.
That's different.
Right. But isn't that what social media is for? You just blast the hell out of them on social media, deny them business, get other people to deny them business. They go out of business. I mean,
that's essentially what happened, it looks like. And then they have to pay $135,000 in emotional distress or damage or something. Like, seriously, if you go to a bakery and they're not going to bake you a cake, you go to a different bakery. There's no emotional distress. That complaint is bullshit. The question of whether or not there's a violation of civil rights for one of the others, one thing, but to say that someone wouldn't bake you a cake and now it's like your heart's broken, you've been traumatized, like, fuck you, give me a break. How did you get through high school? Seriously.
Yeah, they did it. They did an awful thing. I mean, that's to discriminate against somebody because they're in love, but they're in love with somebody you don't think they should be in love with. That's wrong to me. You know, if they're both consenting adults, love who you want. But on the other hand, to try to say that owners of businesses have to do certain things, that's a slippery slope we're going to open up.
I'm trying to think. It's like, okay, you know those people at like fairs or stuff that'll do like a really quick sort of like profile comic book thing of you? Okay, so what if, you know, what if you came up to that person and said, I want you to draw a picture of me shooting the president? And they're like, no, that's against my moral, you know, I'm going to deny you service on the basis of my moral objection to such a representation. Would that be any different? And would either of them have been, would the artist have been committing a crime denying that person service?
Well, the way they'd get around that is because those aren't, that kind of thing is not protected as part of the Equal Protection Act.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. All right.
Now, okay. The one that I would do is, if there's no good comparison. There's really not, because anything is going to come back down to equal or not equal opportunity. You know what I mean? Equal protections.
Yeah.
And frankly, the Second Amendment trumps that, in my opinion. Or not Second Amendment. Fuck it.
The Second Amendment
just shoot him.
Jesus Christ, monkey.
God, the First Amendment. Oh my God.
That escalated quickly. Thank you, Gregory Hurst. Being forced to provide a service equals indentured servitude. Let the baker use whatever criteria and let the free market sort it out. Cake's not a right.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get some money, and I'm going to share it with everybody.
Okay.
As long as nobody steals my idea. So I'm going to write a book. And when the bookstores don't want to sell it, I'm going to sue the crap out of like Barnes & Noble and all those big name stores. It's because they're not going to sell my book. Even though I'm going to make a pornographic pop-up book for toddlers.
It's funny you should mention that, because we're going to come up to that on MSS News Time.
Yeah.
Pornographic pop-up books for toddlers?
Close.
Oh, it's worse.
It's worse. It's worse than that. But yeah, we have a story that's floating out there.
Why does this world still shock me?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a Scott McGinnis. Why do they give Muslim bakers a pass? Yeah, it would be if you went into a Muslim bakery and asked them to bake you a cake that says "fuck Muhammad." They should absolutely be able to say no on several grounds, actually. And nobody would disagree with that. But because this is a gay issue, that's where it becomes something we don't want to go, sorry, you need to go to another bakery.
Well, here's what I think is going to happen. If they end up ruling, especially in the Supreme Court, if that hasn't already happened, I don't think it has. If they end up ruling against the baker in the Supreme Court, someone will try that just for shits and giggles, and also to see if they might be able to get a payout out of it.
You can never say this with the Supreme Court, but there is no way they're going to side against the bakers. They're just not.
Yeah, I know. Well, I've been surprised before by the Supreme Court. So even a Supreme Court that I thought would swing one way based on who they. So I agree with you. The likelihood they're going to say the bakers have absolutely no right to refuse service, even on the basis of a religious conviction, probably not. But again, stranger shit has happened, so we'll see. Let's see. This one I found really interesting, and I think maybe Weibo might find it interesting too, since it has to do with criminal justice in a fashion. Massachusetts prosecutors to throw out 8,000 convictions in second drug lab scandal.
Beautiful.
Prosecutors from across Massachusetts have tallied more than 8,000 convictions they say will be dismissed because they are tainted by a scandal at the state drug lab, according to new court filings by the Massachusetts Attorney General. The cases involve analysis by lab chemist Sonia Farak, who was both testing and consuming drugs seized by the police for 8 years. You don't drug test the people working on the drug testing?
Apparently
not want to do that. Prosecutors indicated they will seek to preserve convictions in some of the cases Farak handled, either through retesting or other evidence. But the state's public defenders and the American Civil Liberties Union are seeking a blanket dismissal of all of Farak's cases and further sanctions to deter prosecutorial misconduct, such as the kind that delayed the full exposure of Farak's misadventures for years, resulting in some defendants spending more years in prison. The list compiled by prosecutors marks a key step in resolving the second debacle from the Massachusetts drug lab scandal. This year, Massachusetts prosecutors had to erase more than 21,500 drug convictions because of the actions of lab chemist Annie Dukin, who admitted contaminating, falsifying, or not testing drugs in her Boston area lab over 8 years. Holy cats. The State Public Defender's Service and the ACLU convinced the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court, the state's highest court, that mass dismissal was more efficient than individually retrying 24,000 cases with 20,000 defendants. They're not wrong, but it's also a complete travesty that, holy shit. And how many completely guilty people based on faulty evidence? Well, I mean, that's our system. You know, that's the test against our system. So, but
yeah, I don't understand why you'd have to throw everything out. But I'm for a fair justice system. It's fucked up. Sorry.
Well, like I said, the throwing everything out because there's so many cases where now you would technically have to retry them sans the tainted evidence. So it's either retry all the cases or just nix them all, which...
Yeah, but here's my issue. If it's worth throwing somebody in jail for, then they should be retried.
Yeah.
Otherwise, admit that the war on drugs is a failure and find a different way to fight it.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Whoops.
Well, unless it's a case where, like, the whole crux of the case depended on that testing, so fruit of the poison tree kind of thing at that point. But yeah, you'd have to analyze every single case to figure out if that was the case. Yeah, that's nuts. Yeah, here's a thought, criminal justice lab people: test your testers from time to time. Check their work. I don't know what else to say. 8 years she got away with that, and the other one 4 years being high on drugs the whole time, stealing them from the. Holy cow. Massachusetts.
As an addict, you got to admit that's a pretty smart way to get your drugs.
That's true. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it's like what Willie Sutton said. Why do you rob banks? Because that's where the money is.
Where the money is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's all the news I had. So unless we've got something else that I've, let me check to make sure nothing crazy has broken in the last few minutes. Nope. That Drexel professor has resigned. Do you remember the Drexel professor?
I saw a video. Sargon made a video about him today.
Yeah, he was the one that tweeted something about like white genocide now or something like that.
All I want for Christmas is white genocide.
Right, last year. Yeah, and now he's resigned amid threats. I'm sure that'll probably be an MSS News. If it's not, we can come back to it later.
Yeah, CNN did a markup on him because he tweeted something else shitty out, and I forget what it was. But Sargon went over the CNN video, and yeah, the guy's an asshole. Fuck him. I don't care.
And I saw him before in an old Hagbard Celine video. Hagbard did a really long video on a Black Lives Matter author or something, and she was introduced to the audience by that professor. So the first time that I saw his face, and I never heard of or saw him again. So last year when his face popped up, before I even read the story on him, I was like, I know who that guy is. Thanks, Hagbard. I felt so informed.
I think it's funny he's resigned right after the CNN story comes out. Probably didn't get the emotional hugs he was expecting when people went, no, you're kind of a fucking asshole.
Yeah. Well, let's see. On to MSS News. Guys, if you have news stories you'd like us to take a look at during the course of the stream, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSS News. We can't promise we'll get to all of them, but we'll definitely take a look and get as many as we can. So,
and we appreciate that you guys do that.
And we really do. And see, some of you guys just go completely to the mat in finding the weirdest stuff for us, and sometimes the most topical, depending on the situation. And of course, always Florida man stories, always welcome. Should we start out with the one you were talking about, Monkey, with the...
Oh, yes.
Okay, let's start with that one real quick.
Oh, yes.
And Monkey posted this himself. I saw it posted elsewhere on Twitter. But
for the record, I will be interrupting you during this, and I apologize in advance.
I'm sure the gasps of shock from Lady Monkey will also interrupt me.
Do I need to go mute, Monkey?
Do you have a ball gag?
No.
Oh. Okay.
No.
Mum, because this is British. This is the Mirror. Mum of gender non-conforming child sells fake extra small penises for transgender kids aged under 5.
I quit.
There's certain strings of words I never imagined would be spoken out loud. That's one of them.
Wait till you get to the reasoning.
Okay, I haven't read this yet.
We need a reason? Okay, I'll save my judgment for the reason then.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, and there's a picture. Oh, God. Oh, and they have...
Oh, they have pictures, yes.
They have pictures, and they have names after flavors. What?
Yes, they do. Guys, I would throw this in chat, but the chat links are not working again. If you go to my Twitter, I linked it out there, or do the hashtag MSS News yourself. You can find it.
I'll retweet it.
This kind is crazy.
Okay. The mum of a gender non-conforming child, whatever the hell that means, is selling fake extra small penises for transgender kids under the age of 5. The teeny tiny silicone packers can be worn by children who identify or express themselves as male to give the appearance of a bulge.
To give the appearance of a bulge for a fucking 5-year-old. That is why she did it. To give
under
the
the
appearance
age of
a bulge to... Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh.
When I read that part, I about lost my fucking mind. You don't... 5-year-olds don't have bulges.
Available circumcised and in several colors, include and these are the names of the colors of these things, including cashew, caramel, and hazelnut. They are on sale alongside bigger packers that are targeted at kids aged between 5 and 8. The items, classified as extra small, are among a number of children's products related to gender expression available via the website transkids.biz.
Jesus Christ, I'm going to piss myself from laughing. Is this serious?
This is totally serious.
This is I take it back. I was about to say this is legit. This is not legit, but it is a thing that is real. Okay,
Jesus Christ.
Run by mom Sira Dayshak.
Oh, and you guys should see her. She is awesome.
The site also offers stand-to-pee devices for youngsters who were born female but wish to stand up while urinating. Two of these devices, available circumcised or uncircumcised, are designed, quote, especially for younger folks, unquote, and can be worn all day under clothes. Quote, if your child was assigned female at birth but wants to stand up, assigned female at birth but wants to stand up while urinating, this just might work great for them, a post about the item states. It goes on to explain how the Model E STP devices, stand to pee, yes, device, okay. The first stage is to, quote, make full contact with upper rim of STP. When she said STP, I think it's Stone Temple Pilots. That's a much better idea than stand to pee, Stone Temple Pilots. To make full contact with the upper rim of STP, holding it over the urethra. Then the child should aim and go. Finally, they should shake it out when finished. Remember, practice makes perfect, the post says.
Yeah.
Oh, dear hell.
And there's a picture.
I think Stargazer Nights is correct. This woman needs Jesus.
Oh, God.
Yeah. It actually goes on further down, and there was something else that pissed me off, but the one that really pissed me off is the bulge for 5-year-olds. Because if you guys didn't catch it in there's 2 sizes. There's one from 5 to 8, and then for 5 and under. If you're looking for bulges on 5-year-olds, you're a sick, twisted fuck. How come she doesn't have a camel toe simulator for boys who think they're girls?
Stop it.
Don't give them ideas, Monkey. There's a market for that somewhere.
Oh, these fucking people. Oh.
All right. I don't think I need to read much more of that. I've retweeted out the story if you have any interest in seeing pictures of these things or of the creator.
You have to go look at the creator for those of you who haven't seen her yet.
There's a picture near the bottom. Treat. Oh, God. Yeah, cotton candy all the way.
This can't be real.
Oh, it's real.
No, it's...
She also runs a sex shop. She sells stuff for adults as well. But yeah, apparently she found her niche. It's selling fake dicks to 5-year-olds.
She sells stuff for adults. Are they children?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if it's more disturbing that she makes this or that there's obviously people buying.
Well, no. This story doesn't say anybody's bought shit.
That's true. Hopefully, fingers crossed that the market will do as the market does on this one. And also that the police will be taking a hard look at this individual for any other activities.
Bulge for a 5-year-old. Go fuck yourself, you crazy bitch.
All right. Well, on a slightly less disturbing topic, I'll read the one that I tweeted out just for the sake of getting it out of the way. Several people sent this out too, so thank you. An anti-gambling crusader wins $25,000 in a gaming sweepstakes.
Yay!
A suburban Chicago woman who has crusaded against gambling for decades has won $25,000 by playing a sweepstakes game at a gambling cafe. Kathy Gilroy, 68, told the Chicago Tribune that while it's ironic she won the sweepstakes, the distinction is that she didn't spend her own money to gamble. Oh. Gilroy has said gambling can lead to addiction, bankruptcy, crime, and suicide. She helped shut down a $1.6 million Queen of Hearts raffle put on by the Veterans of Foreign Wars post in rural Morris, Illinois this year until the raffle was properly licensed.
Whose money did she gamble with?
That's what I'm curious about. Gilroy said she's participated in other sweepstakes and won prizes, including electronics and trips to the Bahamas and California. She said she enters sweepstakes because they're made available free of charge under state law. So as long as you're not spending... Okay. But whose money did you spend on this? Morris VFW Commander Jerry Zeborowski said he was baffled to hear that Gilroy won the sweepstakes. Quote, "It's ironic that someone who's anti-gambling would enter something like that," he said. There's a little hypocrisy there, don't you think? Gilroy said she did have to think twice about accepting the prize, but said that she ultimately decided that it comes out of the profits of the gambling cafe's parent company, Laredo Hospitality Ventures. What?
What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Quote, I called it. Yeah. That's
Keep going. I'm sorry.
That's the dumbest justification I've heard. Well, the money comes from the company that ran the sweepstakes. Quote, I called a pastor friend and said, "Oh my God, should I send it back? What do I do? Do I donate it?" She said. He said, "Don't feel guilty." Wait, what pastor were you talking to? Don't feel guilty. That's the entire crux of Christianity. Feeling guilty. Don't feel guilty. You just got paid for all your volunteer work against gambling. It's God showing his grace on me, she said.
Bullshit.
Wow.
Bullshit. Pictures didn't happen. Bullshit.
Cop out.
Maybe it's God saying gambling's okay.
I want to know whose money she spent to make this happen. If she said she didn't spend her own money to gamble. Or was it free? She
entered a sweepstakes, so she probably didn't pay anything, but by entering, you gambled. That's what it is, gambling.
Despite shutting down numerous illegal raffles and raising awareness statewide, Gilroy says she takes advantage of sweepstakes whenever she can. It's the gambling I oppose, she said, not the sweepstakes.
Of course, yeah, it's great when you get to make that distinction yourself.
Hey, no, why don't you give that $25,000 to the veterans of foreign wars you just fucked over?
Or give it to some organization that helps problem gambling.
Yeah, exactly. Why don't you give it to like a Gamblers Anonymous or something? I don't know. It's how stupid.
Yeah, she's one of those people that, you know, she can find a reason for anything.
Thank you, Mule 1066. Captain Ron and Snake Plissken, twins separated at birth. Run with how you want. Oh boy. Captain
there you go.
Ron and now that could be kind of fun. Okay, Mule 1066. All right, got that one down. Thank you, Mule. I'll work on that for tomorrow. Let's see, what else do we have? Now on to stories from the actual people who are fans of ours and not just us sort of masturbating our own interests.
Real quick,
yes.
All You Need says, if it was a free contest, then technically it's not gambling because she does not stand to lose anything. As somebody who has gone to the state boards about other raffles and stuff, she would realize that's run by the same people who regulate gambling in the state. It's gambling.
Let's see, this one comes
There's
from...
no way to weasel out.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, if she really meant what she was saying, she would have taken that money and donated it to somewhere that promoted the things that she believes in. This one comes from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. I say it like that, Colleen Bernier. Man holds up Port St. Lucie gas station over 89-cent cigar.
Jesus Christ, just steal it. Sorry.
Port St. Lucie, a Royal Palm Beach man. Wait, he's royal? He's like a king? Or is that just
Indeed.
a neighborhood? A Royal Palm Beach man was arrested after police said he robbed a gas station for an 89-cent cigar. Tarvis Payne, 33, was charged with robbery. Petty robbery, unless he used a gun or something. Police were called to a Chevron station on the 400 block, blah, 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 on Christmas Eve. The cashier of the store said Payne came into the store and asked for a black and mild cigar, but said he didn't have the money to pay for it. Without money, the cashier told Payne he couldn't give him the cigar. Quote, "You're going to die tonight for 85 cents, Payne told the cashier, according to two witnesses who spoke to police. The man gave over the cigar and Payne left the store, according to the report. Shortly after, Payne came back to the store and threatened to kill the cashier if he contacted police. A witness told police Payne left again after stealing an American flag and was drinking alcohol and yelling in his car. When police arrived on the scene, Payne was smoking the cigar. Payne was arrested and taken to St. Lucie County Jail, where he was being held as of Tuesday afternoon with a bail of $65,000 over an 89-cent cigar.
Wow.
Yeah. Enjoy your prison time for that, you dumb motherfucker.
Yes, the entity that is Florida man takes another victim. Let's see. What is this? Looking for something interesting. Oh, okay. A science thing from Signal Boost. Scientist accidentally discovers self-healing glass.
Cool.
That's usually where the best discoveries come from, by accident. I like the old, I don't even know if this is true, but the old urban legend that sneakers were invented when some guy accidentally spilled rubber cement on his waffle iron.
Oh, yeah.
That might be true. I don't know. A Japanese researcher has developed, by accident, a new type of glass that can be repaired simply by pressing it back together after it cracks. Okay. The discovery opens the way for super durable glass that could triple the lifespan of everyday products like car windows, construction materials, fish tanks, and even toilet seats. Do you have glass toilet seats?
Is porcelain a glass?
Oh, you know what? That's the quality material we use for the bum rumbler.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Bum rumbler?
Wait, you don't know about the bum rumbler?
No.
Oh, well, it's the vibrating toilet seat.
The bum rumbler.
The bum rumbler. This is one of the ads.
It was an ad.
I was commissioned to do an ad for a vibrating toilet seat. And I came up with the bum rumbler.
You know, that should be a thing. Save on toilet paper instead of dabbing off. You just vibrate it a little bit, shakes everything off. Good to go.
Well, that's. I was also thinking that essentially it would also might help somebody who's like a little backed up because it kind of like vibrates your nether regions and kind of loosens things up a bit. I won't say how I did this, but I actually on a whim checked with someone I know who can look up to see if such things are already copyrighted, at least as far as names are concerned.
Okay.
There is no such product in America, at least in America, that exists called the Bum Rumbler. So technically it's open.
I'm going to jack it from you.
You're going to what? Say that again. Say that again slower and deeper.
I'm going to jack it from you.
Ooh! All right. Yu Yanagisawa, a chemistry researcher at the University of Tokyo, made the breakthrough by chance while investigating adhesives that can be used on wet surfaces. Does this mean you will soon be able to repair those cracks in your smartphone with a quick press of the fingers? Or surreptitiously piece together a shattered beer glass dropped after 1 pint too many? Well, not quite. Not now, and in fact, not in the near future. But it does open a window of opportunity, ha ha ha, for researchers to explore ways to make more durable, lightweight, glass-like items like car windows. In a lab demonstration for AFP, Yanagisawa broke a glass sample into 2 pieces. He then held the cross sections of the 2 pieces together for about 30 seconds until the glass repaired itself, almost resembling its original form. Almost. To demonstrate its strength, he then hung a nearly full bottle of water from the piece of glass, and it stayed intact. Okay. The organic glass, made of a substance called polyether thyrus, I'm probably mispronouncing that, is closer to acrylic than mineral glass, which is used for tableware and smartphone screens. Yeah, so cool.
Neat.
I've seen self-regrowing rock before, like with like a concrete that sort of grows itself back into place after you've like broken it.
Yeah.
So self-repairing materials is an interesting materials science. Let's see, what else do we have here? What's this? Rubber one? That's a sad story. I don't want to read sad stories.
You watching the time, dude?
Oh, holy cow! Time flies when you're talking about penises. Yeah. Okay. Well, guys, sorry I went too long on a couple of things, so we'll hold it there for now. We'll try to get more. We'll try to do some MSS news maybe Sunday as well, while we're killing time before the end of the year. So now, on to YouTube time.
Sure.
Lady Monkey, what are you working on?
I am working on not unfollowing all those whiny bitches on Twitter. That's about it.
So are you going to start a channel of your own? I really think you should.
I don't know. I kind of would like to. The issue really is I don't have time. I really have no time.
Oh, okay.
She got to work
to
keep me to eat.
No, that's a lie.
I guess that's true.
So I have time. I just misappropriate my time and don't plan my time well.
Well, I think you should, at the very least, if you find something that kind of gets your goat, you should write a script for it, record it, and then have Monkey do all the labor to actually put the video together for you, and do a special on this channel.
I thought about doing like a video or 2 on his channel, just because his frequency of making videos lately is amazing.
Eat me.
But I don't know.
Okay.
I just don't know what I would do with it. Because, see, my problem is, and my issue with Twitter is, if people make me crazy and I think I'm just going to unfollow them because they're being annoying and all this drama lately, like I'm not in high school, so I'm not interested. And then I think, I don't want to upset people, so then I just keep following the same drama crazies.
Thank you, Sanguine. A research ad, a movie about the various versions of the god Coyote teaming up. Yes, Coyote the trickster god. Okay, I will see what I can do, Sanguine. Thank you. All right.
Backscan says Lady Monkey set up a camera for a few months and do a compilation of Monkey falling down the stairs.
Oh shit.
Oh, I should.
Monkey, what are you working on?
Nothing at the moment. I have an idea for a video, but as I said, I'm not telling you my ideas anymore because I put them out there and then I just stop. So I have an idea. I'm going to work on a video I probably won't have it out until Saturday if I do it. But yeah, I have one in mind.
I have 6 possibilities. I've downloaded 6 different videos today that all looked interesting to me. There's one's a TED Talk. 2 are those Word of the Week deals from that community college. And then 2 others are TEDx talks. But the one that I'm really kind of curious about, I'll use the last 5 minutes to sort of ask a question here. So it's a video from the Illinois Tollway Department. So like the Department of Transportation, Department of Diversity and Strategic Development. And it's just this little promo thing talking about their diversity initiative for the Tollway project, which I guess is this big infrastructure thing going on in Illinois right now. They talk in there how they're really pushing for contract businesses that are run by females and minority persons to be, pushed. And they also mentioned there how they're giving bid credits for bidding for contracts, bid credits to businesses that hire diversity hires from a select pool that part of their diversity department at the state suggests. So they screen people who are qualified for this pool of people, and then if these contractors then hire one or more of these people, they get bid credits to get work. And
so they're literally making tokens?
Well, this is, sorry, real quick. W.R. Costin, thank you so much. Step Back History, which I support through Patreon, reached a patron goal recently. Check out his video on the swastika that he posted today in relation to this. Ad, either swastikas or this video. An ad for swastikas. Okay. I will do that, WR. I know a safe way to do that. Okay, so my question is, and I'm not sure about this, if the state incentivizes a business through bid credits, which is effectively monetary reimbursement,
sure,
to hire people based on their gender or race, and let's not even talk about the notion that you've got a state committee that is selecting people for a pool of people that these contractors must then hire from to get this in the first place. Isn't that incentivizing a business to hire on the basis of discriminatory factors?
Oh, absolutely it is.
So am I wrong in being a little questioning, like, isn't this a violation of the Equal Employment Act or the Civil Rights Act of, I think it was the Civil Rights Act of 64, Title VII, I think?
Well, no, because you're allowed to do that as long as it's not favoring white males these days. Yes,
Peter,
in theory, absolutely, you're right, but in reality, no, because we let people do it all the time.
Peter Hades, thank you. I'll let you choose an ad, Lady Monkey. Lady Monkey.
That's exciting.
If you have an idea.
I need a moment or two to think. I have to come up with a good one just for Peter.
So Peter Hades to Lady Monkey. All right, I'll put that there for now. And then Terry D. Montes, thank you. Since Scribe was pining for the simpler days, ad request for steak knives. Does my previous $5 count towards buying an ad? Of course it does. Steak knives. Okay.
Wow. You haven't had one that simple in a long time.
Well, I mean, the ones that the other day where it's like all you need to do is have an ad where the phrase "go eat a dick" is in it somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the things like that I kind of find interesting because then I have to find a way to build something around that concept, which is always fun. So yes, Terry, I will put that on the list.
And here's the thing with this being in Illinois, it's not going to matter anyway. Somebody mentioned it in chat that they're so full of fraud. White males will probably be able to buy their tokens.
Well, I guess the reason I'm hesitating on doing a video on it is because not being a legal aficionado or anything, as I was listening to it and what they were talking about, I just think there's got to be some background escape hatch for them not actually violating federal law by doing this. So I don't want to tell stories out of school, and I also don't really have the interest in trying to do a whole bunch of deep research into the legal intricacies of how the Illinois state transportation or whatever arranged this deal. So that's why I'm kind of hesitating, because like I could call that out, but at the same time, maybe I'm completely off base because there's something that doesn't make it. Like maybe there's some like fine print somewhere or something. Thank you, Midnight in Exile. If you look at anyone talking about diversity and follow the money, it always goes back to a scam or some form of extortion. All of it. It goes back to the 60s with Elise Y. Cross is in my videos. Oh, yes. Midnight in Exile. If you are not already subscribed to him, look up his channel and go take a look. And if you like it, subscribe. Sanguine, thank you. Sanguine Industries is hiring for its R&D department, and there is an opening for the production company, too. Partial repeat, but I think it needs a new one. It's opening for the production. Okay. I vaguely remember having done this in the past. I will see if I can find the old one. All right, got that on the list. Anyway, so that's one that I was thinking about, but I'm a little hesitant to like start spouting off stuff when I might be completely off base.
Well, there's two things here. There may be some loophole that gets them out of it, but I take a very much spirit of the law kind of thing. You cannot discriminate based on age, sex, religion, whatever else has been added to it since. That's pretty cut and dry to me. And when they because we just had the Supreme Court decide on affirmative action with colleges. And they said, oh, sure, you can still discriminate that way, which is utter nonsense. The court deciding that way doesn't make it right. It makes it legal, but it doesn't make it fucking right.
Well, yeah, I reread the text of Title, and again, I believe it's Title VII of the 64 Act. I might be off by a year or two, but anyway, I read the actual text of the law as it's written, and there's really no leeway. You can't hire with that criteria in mind necessarily. Right. So, I mean, there are the only exceptions I can think of are like if you're in like casting for films or something. Like if you have to cast for Dr. Martin Luther King, you're probably going to have to be hiring specifically for an African American. That's just kind of how it works for historical film or something.
Well, unless you're casting for Alexander Hamilton, and then
oh well, yeah, that's different. Anyway, so yeah, I've got a couple things that I'm looking at. I may or may not do the Illinois thing, but I just wanted to bring that up if for no other reason than it just kind of made me go, Anyway, YouTube drama going on that we know of. Oh, I know Jim got flagged. Mr. Mediker's.
I do want to talk about that.
Yeah, one of his videos, and this wasn't one of his new ones that I saw at least. His video on what was it, the Rub-a-Dub-Dub? I forget what it was. The Hugbox Chronicles from like a few months back got flagged and taken down because of community guidelines strike. And I don't know if any more flagging has taken place since then, but at least one of his old videos got taken down. And he suspects it's because someone's going nuts in trying to prevent his next video from coming out, which is supposed to be tonight, I think. So do you know of anything else about it?
I don't. I do think because the Rub-a-Dub-Dub one, wasn't that the crazy dude who liked to watch kids in bathtubs?
Yes, that's what it was. It was the guy who admitted that, yeah.
Yeah, and here's what I want to throw out there, because Jim did put out on Twitter, he kind of accused the people that are involved in the current drama, and somebody maybe involved in that did, but if you watched that and saw the crazy fuckers who were involved there, I wouldn't put it past them to also be trying to do that now, having no idea what's going on. So to just blanketly say it's the people now, when everybody knew another video was coming, it would make no sense that just because there's a third video, okay, now we're going to try to stop him. It makes far more sense if you, in my opinion, if you watched the original craziness that was the Rub-a-Dub-Dub thing, that it was probably those fucking weirdos. But I don't know that either way, so I just want to put it out there that there may be an alternative to what everybody's thinking right now.
I have an option number 3 for who did it.
Okay.
Oh.
Option number 3 is Jerry Springer and friends want to create more drama, so they false flagged it, thinking that the other goofballs would be blamed.
Man, is Jerry Springer still on the air?
Oh, I don't know.
He's on YouTube. Trust me, I've seen the streams.
Holy cats. Well, and for anybody listening who's never heard of Jim or at least never seen the Rub-a-Dub-Dub video, trust me, just about everything Jim puts out now is immediately mirrored by about 20,000 other channels who know the likelihood of his stuff being flagged is just waiting to happen on any particular day. If I recall correctly, if you look up a channel called Internet Aristocrat Archive, whoever runs that channel grabs anything Jim posts from streams or otherwise and tries to get it up on there for posterity's sake. So it's probably there if you just look for it. Thank you, Snubbirth. Monkey, some people tried to claim Jeff or his supporters were involved. Scribe, give the ad to Lady Monkey. Oh, Lady Monkey got 2 now.
Yeah. Okay, so I have an idea for one of them.
Okay.
And it might take some work because I think it's going to be interactive with Monkey and SDA and you.
Okay.
Okay. So one ad could be for Lords of the Knights, but done in Peppa Pig-esque style.
Oh,
I've never watched Peppa Pig.
Yep.
So I would have to. Okay. So Lords.
And so just remember, they're animals. So like as the animals are talking, their animal noises come through.
Oh, okay.
So like if somebody's the piggy, yes, they have to snort.
Well, I think that Monkey would have to be a monkey, SCA would have to be a puppy, and I don't even... Oh, I'd have to be a frog. Kermit.
There you go.
Okay. Well, I'll write up a script and I can get them to read it. It might not be tomorrow because I know SDA is not back tomorrow, but next time the 3 of us together will do it. And you have a second one available from Snubbirth. If you think of something, let me know.
Okay, I need a little bit more time.
Okay, I do want to address 2 things said in chat. Midnight in Exile says, Ranting Monkey, it was definitely somebody related to current events. There's no way it wasn't. Actually, if you watch the Rub-a-Dub-Dub Chronicles, yeah, there is. The dude who was involved in that and his whole gang of crazy friends, these were guys who were insisting they were actually going to get Jim taken off of Twitter, run off the internet. Is it likely? I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell you for sure who did it one way or the other. I'm just saying there is another alternative. And Net says, Ranting Monkey, most of his friends turned against him after Jim started poking and digging, so I doubt it was them. One of Kraut's friends, however, Habib, I think he's admitted to flagging videos. Habib did. But again, it does not make much sense to start flagging on the 3rd video.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Wait, when somebody flags your video, like, and YouTube has to like talk to you about it, they don't tell you who did it?
No. There's no record of who made the flag to the creator, unless it's a copyright claim, and in that case, the purported owner, because sometimes they fake it. The purported owner of a DMCA will be listed like this has been copyright claimed by Viacom or something.
Yeah, but for community strikes, no, it's anonymous.
Yeah.
Huh.
And it's sad that one got taken down too, because that was such an excellent video. That the dude involved was so crazy.
And like I say, you can still find it out there. Even if it's taken off of Jim's channel, it is all over the place. And he has people that like clockwork will mirror anything he puts out immediately, because we all know from at least the longtime viewers know just how fine a line Jim walks with the what is appropriate content for YouTube. So any other dramas going on at present?
Not that I'm aware of.
Lady Monkey, you're steeped in drama from time to time. Anything we should know?
No, I try to stay out of the drama. Like it's just all over Twitter. Like legit, I felt bad. I unfollowed 2 people today because all they were redoing was retweeting it, and it's just like, why? Don't poke the fire. Let it go. Let it go.
I did want to bring up one thing real quick that caught me today that I thought was funny and got me, at least roundabout, a like from Christina Hoff Summers on a tweet I put out there.
Oh, nice.
So this story came out. I don't even know if I know who this person is, but Julia Michaels, whoever that is, thinks female pop stars should sing about sex. And then several people immediately pointed out, like, she said something to the effect of, like, if men can openly talk about sex, why can't women? And I immediately tweeted out a picture of a screen cap of Salt and Pepper's Let's Talk About Sex. Because, women never sing about sex. And then when Christina's Hoff Sommers posted a thing about it, I tweeted that same picture back, and she liked it. And I was like, yay! So, whoever Julia Michaels is, and I have no idea who she is. Apparently, she's some famous person. I don't know. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Hell, somebody posted a song, a link to a Billie Holiday song from way back when. I'm like, women have been singing about sex forever. So, anyway.
Did you all see Uzalu's video or stream with Liz? Was a bucket of cancer? No. I don't watch either of them on any regular basis.
I didn't know. So for deep topic time, I have a carryover from last night.
Yes.
Well, I guess I have two options. We can either do the top 10 moments Black people won in 2017 or the 2017 WAPIPO Awards.
Lady Monkey, you're the guest. Which one?
All right. What are my options?
The top 10 moments Black people won in 2017 or the 2017 WAPIPO Awards.
Are either of them serious lists or no?
Well, it's the root, so probably not.
All right. Let's make fun of the white people.
Okay. So, let's see. We'd like to welcome you to the 2017 WAPIPO Awards. For those of you attending for the first time, these awards are not focused on all white people. Instead, this is a ceremony that celebrates the class of our Caucasian constituency that constantly complains that the BET Awards, the NAACP Awards, and even the Soul Train Awards are inherently racist because they are limited to Black people. Parentheses, I mean, even Black people don't want to go to the Soul Train Awards. I have tickets to this year's Soul Train Awards sitting on my dresser right now, and I'm not even a celebrity. I think you get a free pair when you spend more than $20 at Popeyes. Either that, or they were at the bottom of a box of Fruit Loops. That's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. I won't deny it. That's kind of funny. And of course, that means that means that probably your boy Pat has a pair of tickets because he goes to. Is he a Popeye fan?
I would be fine with the Popeyes joke, but the Fruit Loops, no. In a packet of Kool-Aid would have been funnier.
Oh. White people hate being left out of anything. Genocide. I'm fine. Okay. Even when we futilely explain to them that the previously mentioned accolades exist because of the lack of diversity in mainstream award shows. So our founder, Mr. Y.P. Pull, who made his fortune building desalination plants that take the salt out of white tears and use it to irrigate kale farms, started this award show to recognize WAPIPO. We saw what happened when they felt left out of Black Lives Matter. Oh, trust me, I don't feel left out at all. Not everyone is eligible for these honors. Only the small subset of white people called WAPIPO, those who trade in privilege, hate, and what our panelists call white people shit, receive nominations. Now, without further ado, here are the nominees and winners of the 2017 WAPIPO Awards. Are we ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Under the heading White Tears Award, first off, Chris Cantwell for being the biggest, baddest Nazi at the white supremacist purge in Charlottesville, then bawling when he discovered police had issued a warrant for his arrest. I don't even know who that is. Number two, the WAPIPO mad at NFL protesters. To be fair, if Jesus appeared on Sean Hannity's show wearing a Confederate t-shirt to announce the return of slavery, that would still fall behind the troops on the list of things white people loved. What? Okay. Number three, Hillary Clinton. For rigging the primaries, then crying about how the 2016 presidential election was rigged. For contributing the phrase that is forever enshrined in the salty white people Hall of Fame, but she won the popular vote.
This isn't funny.
And number four, White Twitter for boycotting Dear White People being butthurt because Amazon Alexa believes Black Lives Matter, destroying their Keurigs in support of a pedophile, throwing a tantrum when white nationalists lost their blue check marks, and becoming upset when they saw Black Thought trending because they were afraid we were plotting something. Okay. And the winner is the It's Okay to Be White movement.
Yay.
Okay.
The joke from 4chan?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Which people took seriously because 4chan is just very good at doing. Remember free bleeding?
Oh, yes. Believe me, I know free bleeding.
Or piss for feminism or something, wet your pants or whatever it was.
I'm free bleeding right now.
Oh.
Yeah, pee yourself for rape was one of the funniest ones they've done.
Oh, God. Do you want me to keep reading this crap?
No.
Okay, I will find something. Somebody sent something earlier as a potential deep topic on MSS News. So let me look that up real quick to make sure I haven't.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know the peeing thing, they put out there that a lot of women, when they're raped, pee themselves. So you should take a picture of yourself having pissed your pants and post it to your favorite social media to show solidarity with rape victims.
Is that true?
It's entirely made up. It was done by 4chan to make people do stupid shit.
And they took it seriously, and many people did it.
That's where free bleeding comes from. Free bleeding was a 4chan joke.
Yes. That people, that feminists co-opted without knowing it. It's sort of like 4chan does the Onion of like movements and see how many people buy it. And many people have bought many a thing that 4chan has put out there because they are such movements. They cannot be distinguished from the stuff that is actually done. You know, they're sort of the Medusa magazine.
Yeah, with free bleeding, I'm fairly certain they even said, I bet feminists are dumb enough to actually fall for this.
Yeah. So Fernanda sent us one that might be an actual like serious deep topic, the way the headline reads. As West Coast fights homelessness, kindness is contentious. Okay. All right. So this is, I'm not talking about the boxer here, but apparently I have a name that's similar. Mohammed Ali, A-L-Y, does not see any reason why he shouldn't try to ease the lives of Orange County's homeless, but the authorities and many of his neighbors disagree. Ali, a 28-year-old lawyer and activist, has been arrested 3 times as he campaigned on behalf of street people. Recently, he was denied permission to install portable toilets on a dried-up riverbed, site of an encampment of roughly 400 homeless people. Quote, put yourself in their position. Would you want a toilet or would you not want a toilet, he asked. It is a question of basic empathy. But his detractors, engaged in a dispute that rages up and down America's West Coast as the region struggles to cope with the rising tide of homelessness, says Ali and other do-gooders are doing more harm than good. However well-meaning, critics say those who provide the homeless with tents and tarps, showers and toilets, hot meals and pet food are enabling them to remain unsheltered.
My gosh.
God.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
They would have homes if it wasn't for those damn tents.
Yeah. And not coincidentally, they note, nuisances of homelessness like trash and unsanitary conditions fester and aberrant behavior continues. Hey, you know what? If you gave them a toilet, sanitation might rise a bit. Just saying. In California, the San Diego County community of El Cajon, if I'm saying that right, passed a measure that curtails feeding the homeless, citing health concerns. Yes, because starvation is not a health concern.
Fuck me.
In Los Angeles, city officials have closed and reopened restrooms for those on Skid Row amid similar controversies. The issue is hotly debated across Orange County, a cluster of suburbs and small cities known more for surf culture and Disneyland than its legions of poor. In the tiny east side enclave of Dana Point, neighbors fear a nightly meal is drawing homeless to a popular state beach where teens play beach volleyball and families picnic and surf. Drawing homeless like they're raccoons or something.
Well, there's an argument to that if you put the resources there, they're going to come because they're fucking hungry. They're going to go where food is.
True.
But this is California where there's all these bleeding hearts. A lot of them who, have no problem with, we shouldn't have borders. Open your fucking home then, bitch. Put your money where your mouth is. Let the illegals into your house. And in this case, illegals would be homeless. Let them in, but they won't do that. They want to take these homeless people and pretend they don't fucking exist and not care about them at all. This is one of the reasons I fucking hate bleeding heart liberals, because they're fucking hypocrites.
And
sorry.
Go ahead.
Can we just mention Make Europe Strong again? Mentions in chat. That's why he supports spaying and neutering the homeless.
What are you, Bob Barker at the end of a Wheel of Fortune? Price is Right. Wheel of Fortune. Anyway. On the dusty riverbed 30 miles north, a van furnished with shower stalls parks alongside the homeless encampment. Those living in the string of tattered tents add their names to a list of dozens waiting to bathe. While the mobile unit aims to help those living in the trash-strewn strip, neighbors worry the 2-mile-long encampment is becoming more entrenched in an area where they once jogged and biked.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. Get a treadmill and an exercise bike. For fuck's sake. Quote, if the ultimate goal is to get them under a roof, why on earth are you giving all the advantages you would have under a roof on the riverbed? Asked Sean Dove, a 46-year-old soon-to-be-retired policeman from Anaheim who lives less than a mile from the riverbed in a palm tree-lined neighborhood of 3-bedroom homes. Quote, there's no doubt that giving them stuff there prevents them from a desire to move.
Yeah, desire to move, not a fucking house, you ass hat. Oh,
move
God.
Where? What house are they going to move into? Like, okay.
Oh, that's not what he said. He didn't say move into a house. He said move.
Oh, that's true. Just moved away from me.
Move. Yeah, I want to jog again.
So he doesn't have to see them.
The number of homeless living in Orange County has climbed 8% over the last 2 years. In the United States, homelessness rose slightly in the last year to nearly 554,000, pushed up largely by increases on the West Coast, federal data shows. The increase is driven by soaring housing costs, though a drug addiction crisis and need for mental health services are also factors. Advocates say the homeless population has become more visible as police have cracked down on rules barring camping, driving people from parks and bus benches to a few centralized locations, such as the flood control channel along the Santa Ana River in Anaheim. Everybody knows that the only solution is more housing. There aren't enough beds available in a country where the median home price hovers near $700,000. Until there are, many well-meaning residents want to try to alleviate what they feel is a humanitarian crisis by bringing food and other assistance to the homeless. In a small community like Dana Point, there is no shelter. The nightly meals began more than 2 decades ago at local churches, but were moved to Doheny State Beach after a late-night stabbing between 2 homeless residents. Okay. The picturesque city on bluffs overlooking the Pacific Ocean is known for its million-dollar homes and scenic harbor, but homeless have long been drawn to Dana Point and other beach communities which offer public access and wide open spaces and the beauty and sunshine that lures so many people to California shores. In the late afternoon, volunteers arrive at the beach parking lot with folding tables and trays of chicken or beef or fish and fruit. They often also hand out sack lunches for the next day to several dozen homeless, day laborers, and poor who line up to eat after bowing their heads in a brief prayer. The homeless say as much as they appreciate it, the food isn't keeping them on the streets. Golam Reza Hagigi, I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly, 59, said he has been sleeping in the nearby brush for more than 2 decades, well before meals were served there, and has nowhere else to go. Jose Luis Gonzalez, 60, said he has been living in his motorhome since splitting with his wife and sometimes stops by the suppers to see friends and have a meal. Another homeless man who refused to give his name said he heads there simply to eat. Quote, I come here because it's a Band-Aid, the 55-year-old said. It doesn't help me tomorrow. It doesn't, but it helps me today. Volunteers say homeless are drawn to the beaches because of the open space and access to water and restrooms, not the meals. They feel that feeding people can build trust and lead the homeless to additional services, including housing. I'll take a break for a second.
Well, these damn homeless people, again, if They would go move into an apartment if only it wasn't so nice, living in their own filth under a tarp.
Yeah.
God. Here's an idea, California. I can make this all go away for you. I can fix it. Take all of the money that you spend on illegals and spend it on your homeless. Problem solved. They'll all be able to get nice, comfy apartments, and rent won't be an issue because you're spending a shit ton on your illegals. Stop doing that. Help the homeless.
Well, now let's not be logical.
Yeah, imagine if we like just shaved a little bit off of our defense spending and put it towards, low-cost housing across the country.
Yeah, you're never going to get rid of all homeless because, like they mentioned, no, I wasn't poo-pooing your idea.
Oh, yeah, no, I get it, yeah.
You have the drug addicts, you have insane people, and those will always be an issue. But right now, there's a lot of it. It's just people who can't afford homes, or like the guy who, notice, he's the one homeless after he broke up with his woman. Mm-hmm. I didn't hear her name come out of that shit.
Yeah, I know locally where I live, if you're going to have low-income housing, you have to pass a whole bunch of hoops beforehand. You have to be drug-free, and you have to have there has to be check-ins where you show that you're working towards employment and things like that to maintain the housing for eventual moving on to a more permanent residence. I mean, it's not like we just sort of build houses and throw people into them. There should be a checks and balance system and screening and stuff so that it's, you're not getting somebody in there who either can't take care of themselves or is somehow disabled and they can't work. But that's a whole separate issue by itself. But if you're going to have low cost housing that's supposed to be sort of like a transition towards, their own lives. Yeah. Some people just need a little space to save up and get their feet under them before they can move on. And if you're just going to say, well, don't even give them tarps for fuck's sake. Well, okay, then what are they supposed to do?
Well, yeah. And this is something, it was mentioned in chat. George Carlin used to talk about it, NIMBY. There's a lot of people in California who will tell you all about how horrible the homeless problem is, but not in my backyard. Don't you put that homeless shelter back here.
Right.
You're gonna kill my property value. And I get the idea of property value. I'm staunchly capitalist, but at some point there has to be value to human life too, in my opinion.
Cozy says, my father keeps threatening to move behind McDonald's and live in a cardboard box. Is that serious, or is he just a real big fan of McDonald's?
I wouldn't recommend that.
Yeah. Lady Monkey, any thoughts elsewise?
Well, there's just so many different sides. Because, there are some homeless people who just need some help. They need a break. But there's also homeless people that intentionally are homeless. Whether it's hiding from family they don't want to be associated with. It's just people that don't want to get up and do anything. I think for those who really are truly down on their luck, our systems do kind of fail them, There's a lot of people, and you see it on news and stuff like that all the time, about people kind of taking advantage of welfare systems. And so we have people that are in homes, able to work, and we're just giving them shit left and right. Yeah. But then there's some people who legitimately just need a ray of sunshine in their life to make things better, and we're not going to give them shit.
Yeah, I think just like with anything, any entitlement system, or even running a store, you always have to anticipate there's going to be people who are going to steal or cheat the system or anything else. That's just a fact of life. But the proportionately small number of people who will cheat the system shouldn't poison the barrel for everybody who just needs a little space to breathe while they get themselves established. So,
yeah,
and of course, solving the poor problem has been, I kind of miss sort of the bold, heady initiatives of, say, the late 60s when LBJ did a war on poverty. I don't know if such a thing would work or would even be accepted today. I don't see why we couldn't. We're America, for fuck's sake. We went to the moon. Why can't we alleviate this problem, which is just getting worse, you know?
Well, here's the thing. There is something to the old adage, give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. We've seen with government housing pretty much throughout history, they're not well kept because, and I'm not saying this for everybody, but when you buy your own house, there's a pride in it and you have a stake in it. And so there is a problem there. My issue with this story, for the most part, the homeless problem is very deep and not something that I think we can cover in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But the callousness of this fucking article.
Yeah.
Don't you dare give them tarps. It'll make them stay out of houses. That's fucking retarded. That is just fucking stupid.
And Skeptalk says the war on poverty was a colossal failure, Scarlett. No, I understand. I'm talking about the the spirit, the sentiment, of trying to do something about it, taking the initiative to actually focus in and saying, this is a problem. We need to work to solve this problem as a singular issue. It's just, I appreciate ambition 9 times out of 10 over result, so long as the ambition is, something that makes sense to me. Anyway, Sanguine, thank you so much. Anyone else notice they were sounding kind of like Scrooge? Yeah, just a bit. They just needed to mention union workhouses while wishing the poor would go elsewhere. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, decrease the surplus population, etc.
Yeah, the tone of that article is just, and not necessarily the article, the people that were being quoted and stuff. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's like, you can't give them tarps. They'll just stay. Like, what are you doing? Well, anyway, guys, it is now your time. It's the last half hour of the show. Chat, if you have questions for us, comments, answers, complaints, theories on how we can finally get a moon base. I really want a moon base, but I will forego a moon base if the money that would be spent on a moon base would, help the homeless problem. I don't have a problem with that either. And I'm not suggesting we send the homeless people to the moon. But
Backscan had a great idea building on mine. He says, I have an answer, monkey. Move the homeless to Mexico and tell them to sneak back in. Makes them illegal, so Cali will help them. Problem solved.
I like it.
Sanctuary cities. Actually, get all the homeless people and give them jobs building the wall.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, here's the other thing. Speaking of like old initiatives, what about remember we did like the America Works program or whatever, the old FDR days were just like, let's go build. I mean, I think even George Carlin had a skit on this or something. Go build a big thing. Go somewhere and go build a highway or build a big statue or build a park or go build a giant thing. The government will pay for it. Give people jobs. Give them the opportunity to earn some money, etc. Just if you have people who are able to work, make a reason for them to build some just big ridiculous thing somewhere. Just because we're American, we're awesome.
Yes, have them build statues, and then Antifa can come rip them all down.
There you go, and then they have to build them over again. It's just a circle of life. Yep. Let's see. Maladjusted one says, Scribe Light, your description of the low-income housing, for instance, when tried in either Saskatchewan or Saskatoon, I'm not sure which, Canada, the Indians came out screaming racism when drug testing came up. Isn't that, what did you like before when you said calling knitting sexist is kind of sexist? If Indians say drug testing is racist, isn't that kind of racist?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just okay. Let's see.
Okay. I have my second ad idea.
Oh yes,
but it wasn't actually my idea. Somebody in chat has said it, and I can't get it out of my head because it's so funny.
Give them credit too.
Make Europe strong again. Said it.
Okay. I will find a way to work them into the ad. Okay.
Okay. So it's Make Europe Strong Again's idea for Snubberth's ad.
For what? Oh, sorry. Yes.
Yeah, it was Snubberth that wanted the ad.
Okay.
Okay. So it is a different bum rumble. It's a homeless people MMA.
Oh God, a bum rumble. Oh God.
Let's get ready to bum rumble.
You remember bum fights?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was so bad. Like where the guy got like bum fights tattooed on his forehead. It was, oh God, bum rumble. All right, I will find a way to make bum rumble a thing. Probably riffing off of this article. Let's see. We have lots of questions that I missed already. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Okay, there's Sanguine. And okay, Scott McGinnis asks, what's our favorite Michael Douglas movie?
Romancing the Stone.
That's a good one. I like Falling Down. I think Falling Down's really good.
I have to go with Romancing the Stone. I love that movie.
Such a good movie. You have a super chat there too.
Oh, do we? Okay. Thank you, Gregory Hurst. Build something like a wall. Just saying. Yeah, that's what I said. Like, give them jobs building the wall. Give them jobs cleaning up the national parks. Give them jobs. I don't know. Something. Just make up something to pay them to do that somehow improves the landscape in some fashion.
And gives them work. Having work does make a difference. It really does. Altaka Paka asked, does Lady Monkey follow the Chargers like Ranting Monkey does? No, she does not.
No.
Let's see. Dark Alal says, speaking of Antifa, how about building easily destroyed garbage cans? The homeless builds and installs them, and Antifa destroys them. Circle of life. Yeah.
But that's where the homeless sleep, isn't it?
Oh, well. Shush you.
That's not nice.
Backscan says, I have a question. If you live on the moon base and you come to Earth illegally, does that make you an alien, illegal alien?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. So the answer is yes.
Well, no, because no people can be illegal.
Oh, right. Yes. Sorry.
I've learned that.
Oh, I heard a new euphemism for illegal alien today.
Oh, dear God.
Undocumented community member.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, fuck me.
Yeah, it's in one of the videos that I might work on, so I might work on that one.
Undocumented community worker.
Community member. Community member.
Sorry. Yeah, I said worker, and we know they don't work. That's not true. They pick all our fruit, let's be honest.
Prospero says, any New Year's resolutions? I think we should probably save those for the New Year's show. But I don't know if anything come up. Do you guys have anything that's prime in your minds for the new year?
No.
Lady Monkey?
No. I'll be asleep by like 10 or 11. I won't even see the new year.
I have an intent to. I mean, it's not like I'm like ridiculously out of shape or something, but I could do with doing a little bit more exercise than I do right now. So I have an intent to try to improve my diet a bit and get a little more cardio in my day. Nothing,
you know what?
Nothing major, but I should.
This is a great thing. I bitch so much about all the pain and stuff I'm in, but I do not have to worry about ever saying, you know what, I'm going to get more exercise, because it's just not possible. I don't even have to fuck with that no more.
No, we are going to get you more exercise. I have plans for you. Don't worry.
Oh, fuck me.
Well, no, that is how the exercise is coming your way, yes.
Oh.
No, because like his doctor mentioned... No, none of that. So his doctor mentioned like... aerobics or something.
Yes.
So there's lots of hotels in the area that have pools, and they sell like pool passes. So I'm thinking of renting Monkey and Grand Monkey and me some pool passes.
Throw the cripple in the pool, see how he does.
Well, hell,
in the deep end.
Grand Monkey could probably keep you afloat.
I won't let her.
She's got stronger legs than Monkey does.
She does.
Actually, I want to get Monkey somehow a gift certificate to an acupuncturist for like a month or something, so that he can get some needles stuck in him that aren't heroin.
I found an acupuncturist not far from us. I just have to make some phone calls.
Oh, okay. Well, keep me informed on the side, Lady Monkey. Maybe I'll, if they have gift certificates or something, let me know. Let's see. Priestess of Keck says, what do you call a cripple in the pool? Bob. Har.
Monkey.
Har. Sooner if not later. Let's see. Scribe, Light, Ranting Monkey, Lady Monkey. What's your favorite fast food restaurant?
Taco Bell.
If you twist my arm, probably Jack in the Box.
We've been asked this many times. My answer changes pretty much every time. So if I said something different last time, that's to be expected. Right now, I would say it's
McDonald's.
Probably McDonald's. Yeah, I'm really digging on quarter pounders lately.
Make Europe Straw again says, do you think the internet historian will make a vid on Kilroy? Well, first it has to happen, and the results and events therein will have to occur before there'll be an expose on all of that. I mean, DashCon didn't get its litany of documentaries until after it had completed, even though it was a disaster from the opening day. But do you guys know about DashCon?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
the Tumblr.
Is it?
Yeah,
was it Rainbow Dashes?
Well,
No.
well, might as well, but no. It was essentially a Tumblr convention that didn't have enough money on the opening day, so they had to, all the people that had showed up, they had to run around basically passing the plate around to afford the rest of the cost of the convention right then.
Oh,
And plus a whole bunch of other things like a ball pool and peeing in it and everything else.
One of their most famous things was that to make up for people who got shafted, they gave them extra time in their ball pit, which was this pathetic little blow up pool with some balls in it.
And somebody peed in it. It became a symbol for like the failed efforts of the special snowflake crowd trying to organize a 2-car parade kind of thing.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah, and Kilroy, with a lot of things going on, has been sort of not even mildly, but very directly compared already to DashCon, even though it hasn't happened yet. So
the difference there is they've already paid for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So at least there's that.
Let's see.
I did see a meme today where it showed all of the original people supposed to be in Kilroy next to a picture of the people confirmed now, and it says they never would have raised the money with the people on the right, and they're not necessarily wrong about that.
Yeah.
Evelyn Burt Dendy asks, Light Scribe. Oh, you're close. What's up with the hate on Florida? I don't hate Florida. I think Florida is a very interesting place. I'd love to turn this into a creepypasta somehow. Florida Man is a spirit of chaos and insanity that infests people who live in Florida from time to time, men and women, make them do insanely weird things, usually involving the police. And then it leaves those people and goes to find a new victim to possess. I made a movie poster for Florida Man, the horror movie. So yes, I would like Florida Man to become its own Slender Man sort of creepypasta legend, possibly. Let's see. Lady Monkey BG asks, "What's the stupidest thing you've done that paid off?" Well, married monkey, obviously.
Exactly.
I don't know that that's paid off for her.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, maybe eventually.
That first humping was pretty good, though, right?
Yeah. Not bad.
Ringing endorsement.
Yeah, I'm just going to let the silence speak for itself on that.
I don't want to. I'm not going to boost your ego at all. No.
You don't. It doesn't need it.
You know me. I'm all about busting your balls. I'm on it.
Whoa.
Lady Monkey, honestly, can you hurt my ego?
I really try, but I have not been successful so far.
Actually, here's a question for chat, just for the fun of it. In your dream casting, who would play Florida Man, or who would be the avatars of Florida Man in the first anthology film where there's like 3 different stories?
I have a better question.
What's that?
Who should play Scribe in the movie Lords of the Night?
Oh, probably Kermit the Frog.
No,
he's not real.
Oh, okay. Nick Cage.
David Duchovny. No, because didn't you once say that you looked similar to David Duchovny? Didn't you say that you looked like him once?
Oh, well, an old picture of mine, I posted somewhere like on a Star Wars fan site or something, and somebody said I looked like a combination, at least facial feature-wise, between a mix of a David Duchovny and Richard Gere.
Oh.
Now, it might have been just a lucky angle. I don't think I look anything like those guys, at least not one. But that was the description I was given at one point by someone who is not a friend of mine nor a family member, just some random person.
You know who I think should play you in the movie?
Who's that?
Gary Coleman.
He's dead.
What? He's dead?
Yeah. He died of a heart attack 4 or 5 years ago or something.
Okay, then Emmanuel
Lewis.
Yes, Emmanuel Lewis.
Emmanuel Lewis. Oh God.
A short black guy. That's why I want to play you.
Oh great. All right.
Oh my God. Speaking of short people, somebody linked me a comedy special. It's a midget who tells jokes. He's a midget comedian. I forget his name.
Yeah.
And he actually makes the joke because he was in the Special Olympics. And he makes the joke that if you've never seen little people run, you should see it because it's funny as hell. So even midgets admit midgets running is funny.
Oh, Jordan 250 says Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. Jake Gyllenhaal with a Nightcrawler performance. If you haven't seen, and this isn't the X-Men guy, but have you seen the movie Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal?
No.
That movie is awesome. That is a great creepy flick, and Jake Gyllenhaal. Man, did you ever see The Machinist with Christian Bale, where he like starves himself down to like 42 pounds or something for the role?
Oh God, no.
Oh, it's amazing. So Christian Bale does this movie called The Machinist, which is sort of like this weird psychological Alfred Hitchcock thing. It's great. 6 months after he made that movie, he was filming Batman Begins. He bulked up from like he was at like 110 pounds or something. He starved himself down. He looked like a concentration camp victim. And then, just 6 months later, he was filming Batman Begins, all buffed up and everything. It's amazing what he did to himself. But Nightcrawler, as far as like committing to the insanity and darkness of a character, Jake Gyllenhaal in Nightcrawler is amazing. I got to say, I'm not a huge fan of him and a whole lot of other things, but Nightcrawler was great. If you haven't seen it, definitely check. It might be on Netflix. I don't know. Jack Cochran says Gary Cole would be good Scribe too. Gary Cole's a little old now. I like Gary Cole, but he's a little old to play me. It'd probably have to be somebody a little younger, because I'm young at heart, even if I'm getting old in age, ish. Priestess of Keck asks, Lady Monkey, how much is Monkey insured for?
120,000.
Okay.
Are we planning to do something to him, or
what do you mean, we, white woman?
Netarumi
says, Monkey, would you watch a movie where every character was played by Samuel L. Jackson?
It would depend on the movie.
Ooh,
I've seen.
Yeah,
I've seen him in some good stuff and in some bad stuff.
So I think they're making a reference to being John Malkovich.
Oh yeah.
I came up with a movie concept that I love that I know will probably never happen, but it would be called Human Bean, Bean, and it would star Sean Bean, and you'd follow it almost like it was a documentary kind of thing, following him around as he goes from role to role on like these little cameo things. Just follow him around, and in each situation, his character dies in a different fashion, and it would be like this meditation from character to character and sort of like setting to setting on life and death from Sean Bean's perspective as someone who constantly dies in films. And I thought that'd be really sort of like deep, sort of Spike Jonze-ish type movie to do. Human Bean. If you could just get him to do it, it'd be great. Let's see. Scribe Light, if you could be an Olympic athlete, what sport would it be? Napping. Scribe Light.
Monkey would give you a run for your money on that one.
Probably. Oh, Minions of the Zoo, the ambiguous Minions of the Zoo account says, Scribe Light, Kenneth Branagh as you. Younger Kenneth Branagh, I could definitely see. But like you say, all these guys are just so old now. I'm not that
Randy
old.
Quaid.
Randy. Oh, God. No. Cousin Eddie. No.
I think Randy Quaid would make a good me.
That I could see, kind of, sort of, maybe. What else we got? Scott McGinnis says, "What's your favorite opera? Phantom of the Opera."
Yes.
I know that's SDA's too, so I think we'll go there. And make sure if Straw gets us Gary Busey. If you ever want to see Gary Busey at his best, you need to find a movie called Surviving the Game, which actually stars Ice-T of all people, but has Rutger Hauer, Gary Busey, F. Murray Abraham, the guy who plays the doctor you like from Scrubs, the one who makes all the wry jokes and everything, the mean one.
Dr. Cox.
Dr. Cox, yeah. I forget his Ted McGinley, not McGinley. Shit.
Something like that.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. If you can find the movie Surviving the Game, there is this monologue, this one cut, like there's no cut in it of Gary Busey doing this speech about his childhood, or at least the character's childhood. It is so good. It really shows how Gary Busey at one time was a great actor when he wanted to be.
Jack Cochran says Peter Dinklage as Weebo.
Yeah, with a wig on. There you go. Let's see. Gosh, Gary Busey is at his best is arguing with Meatloaf about paint supplies. Probably. If you had Netrigamy says, if you had to watch one movie on repeat for the rest of your life, what would be the worst one to be stuck with?
Silence of the Lambs.
The
worst movie ever made.
God, the Last Jedi.
I feel I'm currently living with it because I liked it the first go around, but if I have to watch too many more repeats of The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, I might snap and kill somebody.
Is Grand Monkey a fan?
We watched that 5 times today.
Oh, yes. Lord.
And
back to back.
She doesn't even call it The Grinch. She says she wants to watch a scary movie.
Wait, is it the cartoon or is it the Jim Carrey thing?
The Jim Carrey one.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, no. I'm sorry. That's If it was Boris Karloff's voice, I'd be all right. Ish.
It's not that bad. It's grown on me. It's not the best movie ever made, but it amuses her, so that makes me happy.
Yeah, okay.
There's the part where Cindy Lou Who sees him for the first time, and she goes, "You're the," and he goes, the Grinch, and she does it, and it is so cute.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, the Grinch. It's I just want to hug her.
Let's see. Three-Sided Coin says, do you want to edit all these videos I film but have no patience to edit? God, I'm so lazy. No.
Gonna pass.
I have my own videos I have to work on or start scripting and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how to edit. I'll do it. Sure.
Oh, yeah. If Lady Monkey's first editing, like without any training, it probably turned out great.
Mm-hmm.
Skeptalk says, Plan 9 from Outer Space is worse than Silence of the Lambs, Monkey.
Silence of the Lambs, worst movie ever made. The only thing that can make Silence of the Lambs worse is if somebody put Stairway to Heaven in it, and then it would be the most god-awful thing ever.
I've never seen it.
It's, it's one of those movies that I read the book after seeing the movie, and it's one of those rare movies that pretty much does the book entirely justice. And it's I like Silence of the Lambs. I like Manhunter a little bit better. The first
Manhunter was good. Yeah,
Manhunter. Yeah, the early one with what's his name, the guy who ended up on CSI.
I always remember him as Pat Garrett.
Oh, yeah,
from Young Guns 2.
Oh yeah. Well, anyway, the original Manhunter with Brian Cox. Brian Cox played Hannibal Lecter. It was a great flick and really creepy. The remake, Red Dragon, I liked, but Manhunter still kind of beats it.
Wait, Jack Gunsky, The Day After Tomorrow is not the worst movie. That is one of the best movies ever made.
Jesus Christ.
It is so shit. That movie couldn't be better if they tried to make it as bad as it was. It is great for being awful.
Jack motherfucking Cochran says City Dragon with MC Kung Fu is the worst movie ever made. Sorry.
Attack Alpaca, you really don't like Stairway to Heaven? No, I really don't. That song sucks.
Oh, Kilgore Trout, worst movie ever made is House of the Dead. House of the Dead is on the list of worst movies. Not knowing any better, but thankfully only paying for a matinee, I went to see that in the theater. Oh God. Oh, you want to movies based? I mean, Doom. The movie Doom, based on the Doom video game, was a better video game adaptation movie than House of the Dead. Oh, and that's not a good movie. Scribe, have you seen Meet the Feebles? Long time ago, and only once, I think. Let's see. Malevolent Rider says, "Hey, I'm going to the Chaos stream with Dark Angel. I'm always the only person there, so if Sassy or Ranting Monkey can come, please do." Let's see. I don't want to be alone. Oh, Jesus. I'm unfortunately
so
have a couple things to get done, and then I have to go to bed because I have an early day tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day of the month, business-wise, and the last day of the year, business-wise. I have a ton of stuff I have to do for year end.
I'm watching Jim's video and then probably crawling into bed.
Oh, did he post it?
Yeah. He posted it about a half hour into our stream.
I should grab it for myself and make sure it doesn't go away. Alone in the Dark was almost as bad as House of the Dead. Oh, Alone in the Dark was really bad too. Yeah. God. Christian Slater. Oh, it's bad. Oh, God. Christian Slater. Pump Up the Volume was so good, Christian. What did you do?
Heathers was also excellent.
Heathers was also good. Christian Slater.
I love my dead gay son.
I mean, the guy had a great shtick. It's like, I'm going to do my best Jack Nicholson impression forever.
Yeah.
And that will make my career. And it did for a while. He did okay. Jim Who, says Kilgore Trout, and House of the Dead sets the bar for bad. Jim Who is a Mr. Medicare or internet aristocrat or just Jim 81 Jim from the olden days, or a dozen other names he goes by.
Okay, before Scott hurts himself. Favorite Greek tragedy, don't have one. Favorite Shakespearean drama would be Hamlet, and favorite Mark Twain book. I'm not a real big fan of his books. I love more of what he said and did outside of writing.
Greek tragedy, probably The Rape of Persephone, because it's just so dark and grim. Shakespearean, I'd go for Richard III, but specifically the Ian McKellen movie version where they set it in a World War II motif, and it looks really cool. What was the third one?
Favorite Mark Twain book.
God, I didn't read that many. I've read more short quotes from them in their books. Probably
Huckleberry Finn.
Probably Tom Sawyer, I suppose.
Yeah.
Peter Dinklage is back and says, "Fucking Hamlet is a comedy. Are you insane?"
Weebo, aren't you supposed to be spending time with your boyfriend who was only supposed to be a little bit late and you couldn't join us for the stream? Or something? Actually, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead is a comedy. If you ever see that movie, Gary Oldman and I think it was Tim Roth. It's a movie about nothing but those two characters and what they do in between scenes in Hamlet. It's a very interesting little story about those characters. Let's see. Scribe Light Ranting Monkey Lady Monkey. Have you guys seen Special Dead? It's a comedy about a zombie outbreak at a special needs camp. It's so bad, but so funny.
I have not, but
Weebo says he came and left already. What?
So you went with my blowjob idea.
I was about to say, we had a good hour. Good hour. Do you have more hickeys to cover up? Cozy says a Midsummer Night's Dream is my favorite. You know, that is pretty good. Did you ever see the there was a Kevin Kline, a movie version with Kevin Kline and I think Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember that being, it was a very pretty looking movie. I don't know, I can't remember if it was any good, but it was very pretty looking. 3-minute warning, guys. We've got 3 minutes left. Netriomi says, which movie would you least want Grand Monkey to get hooked on? The Bee Movie or Angry Birds?
I haven't seen either, so...
I haven't either, but I've heard that the Bee Movie is about a little bee that falls in love with a woman, and like the woman loves the bee.
Yeah,
so that,
like that
sounds a little creepy, so I would have her pass on that one.
Weebo says, nothing sexy, just dinner and me telling him he needs to wear a scarf to cover up the hickey, I'm assuming. Right. A good hour of just eating and clothes critique. Okay, well that is an exciting night at Weebo Jones's house. Let's see. Captain Bramble says I like Julius Caesar. Yeah,
it's all right. Yeah,
it's all right. Especially the speech by Mark Antony at Caesar's funeral. There's a great rendition of that done by the guy. You remember Colonel or Captain Winters from Band of Brothers?
Oh, yeah.
I forget the actor's name off the top of my head. There's a little bit where he does the entire speech or the majority of it online as a sort of one-off, and he does a great version. I'll try to find it and I'll post it to my Twitter. Okay, and we'll end with Cody Fry asking, Monkey, sorry if this has already been asked, but what are the powers of the Lords of the Night? I think I did that in an ad for superhero stuff. Like Ranting Monkey has like sonic powers. SDA can like talk to animals, like dogs and things. And I spank women. So there you go. Special powers.
All right.
Guys, we're going to end on that relatively strange, awkward silence. Thank you so much for coming out tonight, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the show. Everybody who donated, thank you so much. I'll be working on those ads to get those done for tomorrow. Although the one that involves Monkey, SDA, and I doing lines will probably have to wait till SDA is back, so I'll hold off on that one. We're on Monkey's channel tomorrow night. Same Lord of the Night time, same Lord of the Night channel, so to speak. Lady Monkey, thank you so much for coming on tonight and joining us.
Well, you're welcome, and thank you for having me.
I'm so glad to have you on. It's a rare treat to have the Lady Monkey on with us. Now she needs to go to bed because she's a working monkey.
This is way past her bedtime.
Way past her bedtime. All right. Guys, hope you have a safe night and a warm night for those of you that are on the East Coast. Try to stay warm, and we'll see you tomorrow. And as always, your lives make us sad. See you next time.
Wait, Scribe, wait.
What? Huh? What?
Oh, I just wanted to see if it would work.
You jerk.